chanting. Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to all our Guru Maharajas, all glories to assembled devotees here. Without any further ado, we will go ahead with the morning program. I'll first go ahead and recite the 10 offenses to the holy name, which are to be avoided, and they are written in by Srila Vyasadeva in Padma Purana, and they are as follows. Number 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the names of demigod like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of the spiritual masters. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. And 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success. Krishna Prema. Hare Krishna devotees, I welcome you all. I thank you all for joining the early morning Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. We will go ahead, and if you could kindly unmute yourself, announce your name, and give me the pleasure of welcoming you in this platform. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All the glories to the assembled devotees. This is Manjuli Leela Devi Dasi from Cincinnati. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Manjari Devi Mataji. I didn't know you have gone to Cincinnati, probably for the holidays. Please accept my...
I'm at my sister's place, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Haribol, Haribol. Very nice. Happy New Year to you, Mataji, and Happy New Year to Happy Krishna Conscious New Year to all the devotees here. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining, even on your holidays, Mataji. We had the pleasure of having Ramavada Swami Maharaj at our temple. Please,
Yes.
please keep joining.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Haribol, Haribol. Welcome.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Preeti Dasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna and Happy New Year to everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Devi Mataji. Please accept my Dandavat Pranam Mata. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call year after year, day after day, Mataji. It's association like devotees like you make these wonderful things happen. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Please keep joining, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to all our Guru Maharajas. All glories to your wonderful, consistent service, Mataji. Thank you for joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call every day, and thank you for your services that you render here.
Thank you for your
Welcome.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devi Dasi from Cincinnati.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I hear an echo.
It is coming from Mary Mataji's mic is on.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devi Dasi from Cincinnati.
Haribol Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Yashamati Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharajas, all glories to your beautiful chanting, Mataji. Please help us continue to chant like you on Bhakti Sangha. Please keep giving us your association. Happy Krishna Conscious New Year. Welcome.
Happy Krishna Conscious New Year to you, Mataji, too, and all devotees.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji. Dandavat pranam to you and all the assembled devotee. This is Sharanagata Devi Dasi from Maryland. Hare Bol, Hare Krishna, Happy New Year to you all.
Hari Bol, Sharanagata Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining all the way from Maryland with us, Mataji. Please keep giving us your association at Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Welcome, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji. Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji. Dandavat pranam to you and all the devotees. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to assembled devotee. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam Mata, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for every day, day after day, week after week, month after month, joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call, chanting here, giving your services, Mataji. Keep joining. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, all glories to the Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devi Dasi from Raleigh. Happy New Year, Mataji.
Happy New Year, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to all our Guru Maharajas and all glories to your wonderful chanting, Mataji. Thank you so much for joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call, Mata. Please keep joining. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Nina Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. My humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. This is Sundarangi Radha Devi Dasi from Canada.
Hare Krishna, Sundarangi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so very much for joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call, Mataji. Please keep joining. Devotees, today we are so fortunate we will have His Holiness Candramauli Swami joining us. Maharaj will be joining us within a few minutes. Prior to that, if I may kindly beg your pardon and go ahead and give a brief introduction for him. And it is as follows.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji. Dandavat pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Hinda.
Hare Krishna Vrinda Mataji, thank you very much for joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to all our Guru Maharajas, all glories to His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj, who will be joining us in a minute. I will go ahead and start a brief introduction for him. Thank you, Mataji. His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj is a disciple of ISKCON founder Acharya, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and an initiating spiritual master within the ISKCON movement. Maharaj was born in New Jersey in 1947. Maharaj came in contact with International Society of Krishna Consciousness in Denver, Colorado at the tender age of 24. In 1973, he began practicing Krishna consciousness in New York City and shortly thereafter began serving at the New Vrindavan Farm community in West Virginia. That same year, he received initiation from His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. In 1986, His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj accepted the sannyas order and began preaching in Cincinnati, Columbus, Ohio. In 1995, he began serving as a resident sannyasi in Chicago, where he was based until 2013, and when he relocated to Karlovac, that's in Croatia, in Europe. At present, Maharaja offers spiritual guidance around Europe, USA, as well as in India. Maharaj has also written a book called Krishna's Way, Natural Living, about the importance of Varnashrama Dharma and spiritual ecology. I see His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj has joined already. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to all our Guru Maharajas, all glories to you, Maharaj. A happy Krishna conscious New Year. Maharaj, whenever you are ready, today we will proceed from Canto number 7, chapter number 13, verse 46. You may take over whenever you're ready. Hari Bol. Maharaj, I think you are muted.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dharmam Paramahansam Shyambai. Muni Sruta Sureswaraha. Pujayadva Tata Prita. Amantriya Prayayo Griham. Narada Muni continued. After Prahlad Maharaj, the king of the demon, heard these instructions from the saint, he understood the occupational duties of a perfect person, Paramahansa. Thus he duly worshipped the saint, took his permission, and then left for his own home. Purport. As quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita 8:128, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Kipanas Sudrakani Noi, say Krishna Tattva Veti, say Guru Hoyi. A guru or a spiritual master could be anyone who is well conversant with the science of Krishna. Therefore, though Prahlad Maharaj was a grihasta, ruling over the demons, he was a Paramahansa, the best of human beings, and thus he is our guru. The list of gurus or authority, Prahlad Maharaj's name is mentioned there. Swayambur Narada Sambhu Kampila Kamar Muno Prahlado Janako Bhishmo Alir Vyasikir Vayam. The conclusion is that a Paramahansa is an exalted devotee, Bhagavat Priya. Such a Paramahansa may be at any stage of life, brahmachari, grihasta, banaprast, or sannyas, and be equally liberated and exalted. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 7th canto, 13th chapter, Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Behavior of a Perfect Person. Om Gyan Timidandasya Gana Jana Salakaya Chaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaudavani Vacharine Nirvasesa Sunyavari Pastyat Yade Satari. Vajaya Vanchakalpa Tarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Pe Bacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna consciousness, as far as being able to hold any particular position within, is based on qualities and not by janma. Just like there are people who are born in a Brahmin family and they think automatically they are Brahmin. But Narada Muni speaks against that and says it's, pretty lakshanam. It's by one's qualifications and activities that make up one's character, and one's character designates one accordingly. So it's about character and not simply by janma or birth. To simply say that I am a Brahmin because I take birth in a Brahmin family, one has to show that they are performing Brahminical activities and have Brahminical qualities. And Brahminical activities, of course, which means patam patan yajan yajan dana pratigraha are the 6 qualities of a Brahmana, which are to know the scriptures, to teach the scriptures, to worship the Lord in his deity form, and to teach others deity worship, to give in charity, and to accept charitable gifts. These are the 6 activities of a Brahmin. Prabhupada, in speaking about this, sometimes tells stories in relationship to what is not. And there was one story where one man, he's pulling a tela, like a rickshaw or a tanga in India, carrying some load, but he's wearing a Brahmin thread. So some other man sees him and says, "Oh, namaste, Panditji." Namaste, Panditji. And he holds up his hand and says, he blesses you with long life. I don't know, what is that called? There's a certain Ashibad where they give long life blessings. What is that? Who knows that?
Ayushman Bhava?
What is it?
Ayushman Bhava? Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Ayushman. Yeah. Yeah. So here the person is pulling a tela. Just because he's wearing a Brahmin thread, he's thinking he can give blessings, but he's not performing any Brahminical activities. So what is the use? It all depends on qualities. If you want to get a doctor, the doctor has to have qualifications to do the work of a doctor. He can't simply just hang out his shingle in front of his house and say, I was born, my father is a doctor, and therefore I'm a doctor. Or I read some medical books, therefore I'm a doctor. No, it's all based on quality. Here we see Prahlad Maharaj. He is not only a guru, he's a Mahajan, Mahajano Yena Kata Sampanta. That in order to understand the path of bhakti, one has to follow the Mahajans, the great souls. So there are 12 Mahajans as listed here from Srimad Bhagavatam, 630, 6320. And Prahlad Maharaj is one of them. So he's a Grihastha, and he was born in a demoniac family, but he was never a demon. Although he was born in that family, he was there to purify the family of demons, and especially his father, who was the big, powerful Hiranyakashipu. And he received the special mercy of the Lord and took the position as being the guru of the demons after his father was killed by the arrangement of the Lord. And so he's not a demon, and he's a family man. He's married. And but he holds a position as not only a spiritual master, but one who you can consult for understanding the path of bhakti marg, or the path of devotion, pure devotion. So these are understandings to somehow dispel and to dispense with this false idea that everything is based on janma. Janma has some influence, but it's not the conclusion of one's credentials. Just like if one is born in a Brahmin family, because they're surrounded by family members who are Brahmin, they may easily take up the activities of a Brahmin and the education. But also they have to have training and education as part of it. Because in this age, it's Kalo Sudra Sambhavam, that everyone is born Sudra in this age. Therefore, in order to bring out one's natural dharma, we call it swadharma, or one's natural propensities to work in a certain way, there is an educational system that is meant to teach, to evaluate, and to engage people accordingly, and not simply, some kind of designation based on who you know or what family you were born in. That's true. If you look at the world, you'll see that a person has to be qualified to do the work that they are assigned to. Nowadays, you don't see that. You have governments who are leaders who can't even remember their own speeches. and some of them are, They are involved in various types of cheating, and generally they squeeze their constituents for as much tax as they can get. They live in very nice, luxurious palaces and pad their salaries with extra and extra amounts of money that they receive from the people, rather than using the money to put it back into society for the benefit of others. They do that in a doleful way, but not in a real way. It's all about taking. We see that in every place. Wherever there's fundraising for something, either collecting taxes or fundraising for projects, there's always a class of people who like to skim off the top and get their own cut of the action. And if people become discouraged and don't want to give in charity anymore, when they see that their money is not being designated according to what was and originally announced, so they ruin the faith of the people also by cheating and taking money that is not authorized. But this is Kali Yuga that goes on. So that we find, as Prabhupada describes, that people in positions within the world, and we even find that in our spiritual circles, people vie for positions rather than not because they are qualified, but because their abilities to maneuver themselves and position themselves in such a way that they get the position, either by knowing someone or by using their intelligence to fit into some situation which they want to have. It's like when Prabhupada was saying to his devotees, why do so many of our young men want to become, sannyasis? Mm-hmm. Because it was very fashionable to take sannyas in the days when Prabhupada was there. And if Prabhupada said yes, then you were in. And if you got some recommendation from someone, that was also a way to get in. But Prabhupada saw that people weren't qualified, but they wanted sannyas. So at one point, Prabhupada stopped giving sannyas because he saw people weren't qualified. So it's not about position, it's about qualification. And the mood is always, in whatever position one is in, they should be and must be, in order to be effective in whatever service they're doing, to be in the mood of serving those they lead. Bhakti Tirtha Swami had penned two books, part 1, part 2 of spiritual leadership. Not only leadership, but leadership within spiritual circles. What does it mean? It doesn't change our identity as being Jiva Surupai Krishnaya Nityadas. It's not that you become a leader, you're no longer a servant. You're actually even more a servant, and your requirements to serve those you lead become your responsibility. And if you fail to do that, you can plummet down to a lower stage of life simply by misleading people who took faith in you and therefore were cheated or were not given what they were supposed to receive. So taking position is something that one should not really be anxious for. One should be anxious to be in the position of a servant. And if there's some requirement and there's some position available and you're asked to accept it, you may accept it in the mood of service. That's all. It's not that being in a leadership position means that now you have servants. No, we are never, considered to be we don't keep servants. Servants are for the Supreme Lord. Everyone is his servant. Jiva Sarupai Krishna Nityadas. We are servants, and somebody may also assist us in our own service, but we never become leaders. We become good servants in a leadership position. That's all. And that is the success of our existence, because that is our identity. Prahlad Maharaj, he was giving the ruling over the demons. He is a Vaishnava. He's a Paramahansa Vaishnava. That means he's on the highest stage of spiritual realization. He's not an ordinary great soul. He's on the high stage of prema bhakti, but still he's ruling over the demons. And so he is accepting that because that was what the Lord wanted. Because as Ranikashipu was killed, there was no one to lead the demons. And the demons are also sons of the Lord also. Krishna creates both the saintly and the demoniac, both. That's mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. That demons are a race of people. They're not something that are homegrown. That they're also homegrown demons too, of course. That's people become demoniac. But there are there are races of demons, and that's all mentioned in the Shastras, like yakshas, rakshasas, jinns, kusmandas. There's a whole long list of different categories of demons, just like there's a long list of categories of demigods also. So these are all created races. They're not something that has been, rubber stamped and given a particular name. No, they're actually persons. So Krishna, he's very concerned that also that the demons are given proper guidance. And so he's asked Prahlad Maharaj to take the helm and rule over the demons. That's a very difficult situation because he is by nature a Vaishnava. His son was Virochana, and his son was Bali Maharaj. Now, Bali Maharaj was the king of the demons. He had conquered the heavenly planets and had stolen all of the wealth of the demigods. He was powerful, but he was also charitable. And he led the demons in a very powerful way. But when the demigods no longer had their kingdom and they were bereft of everything, then there was a sacrifice in order to bring back the demigods into control. And that sacrifice wound up by calling or petitioning the Lord to straighten out the subject matter, because Bali was too strong. The demigods could not fight against Bali. It was not possible. He was invincible. And he was the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. So when Vamanadev came into the assembly of Bali, Bali used to give large amounts of grants of wealth to Brahmins. He was very inclined to serve the Brahmins because Brahmins don't work. An actual Brahmin doesn't work. A Brahmin doesn't take occupation from others. A Brahmin will rather starve than become like a ordinary person working for their livelihood. So I think you just went through the 7th canto, which describes the activities of a Brahmin. And even if they don't have any food, they go out into the fields and they gather the different rices that fall from the plant, and they gather it up and they can cook it and have something to eat. So a Brahmin will never take employment from anyone else. And so they receive charity and they give back very valuable spiritual information guidance to the society in general. They also give astrological guidance, astrological predictions, and they also give medical guidance. The Brahmins serve the society in that way, and the society takes care of them. So Bali was like that. He loved the Brahmins, and he did whatever he could to give them when they requested anything they needed. And so Vamanadev, he's the Supreme Personality of God incarnate. He's a young boy of about 12 years old, and he's wearing a Brahmin thread. He comes in, Bali's amazed to see this personality. He's so effulgent. Immediately, he gives him a seat of honor and starts, washing his feet and that and saying, well, you are the best of all of the Brahmins. I am very charitable by nature. Please take whatever you want. Ask for me whatever you want. I'm prepared to give any request you offer. And the Lord said, well, thank you very much, but actually, I don't require much. So my request is only 3 steps of land. Bali was somewhat shocked seeing that here is this young boy, Brahmin. He's willing to give him anything. And he said, 3 steps of land. Now, Shukracharya was the guru of Bali, and Shukracharya, he knows that this person is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he's telling Bali, don't make any promises to him because he's Vishnu himself, and he'll take everything away from you. But Bali doesn't care because he's seeing that person who is the worshipful personality throughout the universe, throughout all the universes. So he wants to offer something. So he's encouraging Vamanadev to take more. But Vamanadev says, well, actually, it is understood that one who is not satisfied with what they need will never become satisfied. So I need very little. So I'm asking for 3 steps of land. That's all. And then Bali said, okay. But then the Lord turned to the Trivikram. he manifested a huge form. And with the first step, he took all of the area that makes up the middle and lower planetary systems. In his second step, he took everything that comprises higher planetary systems, and now there was nothing left. He had taken everything that Bali Maharaj had. So the Lord looked at him and said, well, you actually offered me 3 steps and I only got 2. So you're a cheater, therefore you should be punished. You're breaking your promise. So Bali was in a very difficult situation. And then the Lord calls for the ropes of Vashuki. It's the mystic snake. And he came and he tied up Bali like an ordinary prisoner. Bali's there in front of the Lord, all tied up. And the Lord is saying, you're a thief, you cheated me. You gave me 3 steps and you only gave me 2, you promised me 3. But Bali didn't know what to do. Finally, Prahlad Maharaj arrived in the assembly hall. And when Bali saw his grandfather, he immediately offered prayers. And he bowed his head to his grandfather. Upon doing that, he became enlightened. And then he understood what to do. And he said, my dear Lord, you can put your 3rd step on my head. Manaso deho geho, you'll get you more arpilun to alpade Nandakishore Krishna. Whatever I have, my body, my words, my home, my possessions, everything, it all belongs to you. So he surrendered completely. therefore he's known as a Mahajan also. You'll see here in the last line, Balir. Balir is Bali. Bali Maharaj is indicated in this verse. That's Bali Maharaj. So he's famous for surrendering everything to the Lord. And he said to the Lord, now you can take your last step and place it at my head. I become your eternal, sold out servant. The Lord was so pleased that he blessed Bali, freed him from the being tied up, and then gave him a place in the lower planetary systems known as Sutala, a planet. And the Lord agreed to become his personal doorkeeper. And to this day, the Lord is there in the lower planetary systems as an expansion of himself in the form of Vamanadev to serve Bali as he enters and exits his palace. Bali's a great soul, although he was a demon. He was purified by the Lord. And he is known as that person who teaches full surrender to the Lord. There are 9 angas of bhakti, and the culmination of all of them is Atmanivedanam, which means to give up everything, including one's body. It's easy to give up your resources to the Lord, and you may also spend some time doing something for the Lord. But to surrender your whole life to the Lord, that means my body belongs to you, Lord. Whatever you want to do with it, then I am happy. So that it was complete surrender. And because of that, he became a great soul known as a Mahajan, who teaches the process of pure devotional service. So these personalities, Swayam, that's Swayambhu Manu, Narada Muni, Swayambhur. Actually, Swayambhur refers to Lord Brahma. Narada Muni. Shambhu is Lord Shiva. Swayambhu, Brahma, he's a Grihasta. Narada, he's a Brahmachari. Shambhu Shiva, he's a Grihasta. The Kumaras, the 4 Kumaras, they're Brahmachari. Kapila, he's a Brahmachari. Manu, he's Grihasta. Prahlad is Grihasta. Janaka is also Grihasta. Bhishma, he's Brahmachari. Bali is Grihasta. And Vyasakir, which means Sukadev Goswami, is a Brahmachari. And the word Vayam is spoken by, you'll see there's only 11 mentioned there. That refers to Yamaraj. Yamaraj, he's a Grihasta. So whether you're a Grihasta, Brahmachari, Sannyas, or whatever your material designations are, you can be a great personality to teach the process of devotional service. You can also come to the platform of being a spiritual master. Prabhupada writes, and he speaks about it. He said, I want all of my followers in Krishna consciousness, all of my disciples, to become gurus, where they can also take on disciples, that we can spread this Krishna consciousness movement throughout the world. And he said that in 1970, and he said by the year 1975, I want all of my disciples to be qualified to take the position of guru. By my command, be guru, save the limb. Kiba vipra, kiba nasa, what is that? Kiba vipra, kiba nasa, sudra keni roy, ye Krishna tattva vedi, sehi guru hoy. Yeah. So that verse is spoken by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you so much for such a wonderful explanation and sharing the story so wonderfully. I've never heard such we all hear the story of Bali, but not so beautifully, not so nicely explained. Thank you so much for your association, Maharaj. Devotees, please feel free to unmute yourself or raise your hand and ask questions to His Holiness. Maharaj, one question that comes to my mind is we were talking about charity. Now, in this Kali Yuga, we, the practicing sadhakas, which we do not have a very discriminating mind and we are not able to see through people, when we give charities, thinking that this is a Brahmana or a non-Brahmana, do we incur some kind of repercussions or do we incur some kind of karma? Or we should not worry. Whenever whoever needs it, we should just give it without thinking or contemplating so much, just to help the person.
Well, there are different, what we say, reciprocations according to how much and who you give to. Yeah. If you gave it to a Veda Parvaka, that means the Brahmin on the highest level, then that comes back unlimitedly. If you gave it to a qualified Brahmin, it comes back hundreds of times. You give it to an ordinary Brahmin, it comes back twice. So, but we should not be giving in charity in order to get some reciprocation. Should give it in charity as a service to the person you're giving to. But if you give charity to persons who are not qualified, in other words, those who are presenting themselves as charitable in order to use that as a way to receive funds from others, then if they use that funds in a sinful way, then you'll also be implicated in that reaction to some degree. So one should be a little careful, just like but sometimes we give because the person is needy. Like when you travel in different places, you stop your car at the stoplight, you see people come to the window, they want some bakshish. And even in the Western countries, you have your homeless who stay by traffic lights asking for money. So the thing is, Bhakti Siddhanta chastised his Grihastha followers who failed in giving charity when some beggars were coming and asking them for some bakshish. He says, if you don't give, you'll become hard-hearted. And if you're hard-hearted, you can't practice devotional service properly. So there is a discriminating factor, but it says there's 3 things you should never stop doing, and there's 3 things you should, what is the 3 things that you should be, let's see, what does it say? Let me think how it's worded.
Yajna dana tapa.
No, this is something else. 3 things you should let's see what's the word? So, 3 things you should be satisfied with, and 3 things you should never be satisfied with. Okay, so the 3 things that you should be satisfied with is money that comes by its own accord without any extra endeavor, wife, and food. 3 things that you should be satisfied: money, wife, and food. And 3 things you should never be satisfied with is chanting the holy names, hearing the glories of the Lord, and giving in charity. So one should give in charity regularly, but one should be selective, they knowing that that charity will be beneficial, like that. But sometimes you're in a situation where someone needs something and they come up to you and they ask. So if you give something, then that's fine. I think it's good. The devotees in one temple in India, they carry prasadam with them in the cars. So when these persons come to the windows, they give them a bag of Mahaprasadam rather than giving them some money. So I think that would be intelligent to be prepared. Carry prasadam in little small bags. When you stop at the stoplight and someone comes, they're asking for money for food, so you give them prasad. Sometimes they take it and sometimes they don't take it, but I found in my own experience, most of the time they take it. And they also thank you for it.
It's a brilliant idea to give prasadam. Yes, we would do that too. If you're traveling, we would rather go and buy them food. But yes, carrying prasadam instead of giving money, it's so much.
Yeah, because if you don't know if they're going to take the money and use it for alcohol or drugs. So, but you have to give something. That's the point. And if you're not going to give them, if you don't have any prasad, then you better give a coin or something, because that's the mood, and that's something.
Thank you, Maharaj. Sridevi Mataji, would you like to go ahead with your question, Mata?
Yes, thank you so much, Nina. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. As Nina says, I really agree that such a beautiful delineation of Bali Maharaj's surrender. And this point, I had not heard that before, that when Bali Maharaj was all tied up and trussed up, but when he saw Prahlad Maharaj and he bowed down his head, then the enlightenment came. So that was a very nice point that we got to hear, at least I got to hear for the first time. So in all situations, if we remember and pray to the spiritual master, so whatever difficulties we are in, we will get the enlightenment to make the right decision. That's what I got from that pastime. Is that correct?
What is the characteristic that makes us have the right decision?
Yeah, that in all situations, if we remember the lotus feet of the spiritual master and pray for his mercy, then whatever that situation, we will be able to get the enlightenment to take the right decision. Is that correct?
If you're sincere, yeah. If you just do it as a function, that's one thing. But if you're sincerely praying, yes. Yeah, because the lotus feet of the Lord indicates freedom from all obstacles. And it also inspires one in right action. Prabhupada also makes that point in his lectures. He said, if you remember the lotus feet of the Lord, you will never be impeded in any of your activities in devotional service. That's the power of Krishna's lotus feet. It destroys all obstacles. But we have to do it with, concentration, with sincerity. Sincerity is the key.
Thank you, Mataji, for your wonderful question. We have a question on the chart, Maharaj. It's from Rishbha Prabhu. asking Hare Krishna Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, you Gurudev and Vaishnavas. So he's asking, it was mentioned we should not aspire for leadership role like a guru and accept if it is offered to us. But then Srila Prabhupada wanted us to become gurus. So what does that mean in our own practice?
Mhm. Well, he also explains, and this was also discussed in our seminar recently in a retreat, where guru doesn't necessarily mean a person who has an official position, but that verse, by my command be guru, save the land. In other words, one can act in the role of a spiritual master by teaching spiritual knowledge to others. That person, according to definition, is guru. So Prabhupada wanted all of his disciples, which he said at that time. Now we have a whole society, not only of disciples, but of disciples, to be in a position to take some what's risks and go out and preach Krishna consciousness to others, or devise programs for bringing new people into Krishna consciousness. Yeah, so Prabhupada wasn't talking about everyone becoming a initiating spiritual master. There is the Bart Martam. What is that called? What is that called, Sri Devi? The one who brings you to Krishna consciousness.
Vatma Pradarshika Guru.
Yeah, that's a guru also. And you have Shiksha Guru, who gives relevant instructions. Then you have those who are actually in a position to connect one to the disciplic succession. Those are called Diksha Gurus. And then there's people who act in the role of guru without any particular designation, but they're doing the work of a guru. Guru means to, transmit transcendental knowledge to others.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. This is Shyamashwari Devi Dasi.
Oh, okay, there you are.
Thank you so much, Maharaj,
Where
for
are you? There you are.
your wonderful class. And, very nice explanation. My nephew, he is in India, Pune. You know him, right?
I'm in Pune right now.
Oh, you are? Oh,
Yeah.
then he's gonna see you definitely. So he started joining your classes, and he sent me the question right now. He is on the call, but he cannot talk because he is at the patient. So he is saying that Parikshit Maharaj was very, a good devotee, and all he asked was some water to that rishi, and but he did not get, but what he got, like got curse of getting dead in 7 days. So what was his karma behind that, and why that happened, all of a sudden, nothing was it, just a small incident.
That's explained in the narration that it was something he would not normally do, become upset for not receiving a glass of water. He was a great devotee, but he acted apparently outside of his normal way. But why did he do that? He was influenced. And what was that influence? The Lord had an arrangement made that he wanted him to be the person to receive the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita spoken by Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, spoken by Sukadeva Goswami. So that ultimately was done in order to enlighten the whole world in the knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam, and to hear from that Mahapurush, Sukadeva Goswami. And that's the essence of Bhagavatam. So he was put in that position. But from a personal point of view, he got the chance to leave the world and go back home, back to Godhead. So the Lord also facilitated his, ascent to the spiritual world. But, excuse me, it was explained that his activities didn't align with his character. So it was a surprise that he would act in such a way. Therefore, it was understood it was the arrangement of the Lord. In the same way that Arjuna was put into a bewildering situation and refused to fight. That was also the arrangement of the Lord, so he could speak the Bhagavad Gita. The Lord chooses those personalities who are great souls, fully surrendered to him, to be his instrument in enlightening the rest of the world. Srila Prabhupada was also a personality like that. Prabhupada was put into so many difficult material situations where he had 3 heart attacks, he had his personal belongings stolen, he had so many reverses in his efforts to become to spread Krishna consciousness. But the Lord allowed that in order to show the quality of such a great soul, that he was not going to give up just because of difficulties or even at the threat of death. Prabhupada took a ocean liner, 38 days on an ocean to get to America. But the Lord could have easily arranged for, an airline ticket for Prabhupada. That would have been easy for the Lord, but he didn't. Just to show that this person will do anything to spread Krishna consciousness. So the difficulties that are undergone by great souls are not difficulties for these great souls. They're opportunities to spread the glories of the Lord. Therefore, they embrace these difficulties as great blessings of the Lord.
Very nice. Which means the difficulties are coming to us. We should take them as the blessings of the Lord and try
But
to
learn from them what you can learn.
learn from them. Yes.
If you're engaged in devotional service, everything that's happening to you has a reason. And the reason is for your benefit. It's never for your fall down or for your, going away. It's all meant for your benefit. But it has a reason. Sometimes the Lord does that to give you greater knowledge. Sometimes he does that so you can surrender more. Sometimes he purifies you from some attachment. He's doing these things. Tatenu kampashu shamikshamanam ujaneva kripa vivakam ridva vahubir vidadan namaste jiveti yo mukti padeshadaya bak. If you learn that verse, then you can understand everything about how Krishna brings his devotee back to him in loving devotional service by giving him difficulties in his execution of devotional service. We think if we get a difficulty, there's something wrong. But that's a material calculation.
Yes.
A difficulty is an opportunity to become more dependent on the mercy of the Lord. Because all difficulties are overcome by the grace of Krishna and the spiritual master. As Prabhupada was asked one time, one devotee said, "Oh, Srila Prabhupada, I have many obstacles in my devotional service." Prabhupada said, "You just come to me and I can kick out every one of your obstacles." And that's a fact. He's not just making some statement. The power of a pure devotee spiritual master is he can destroy any obstacles in the life of his disciples if they sincerely take shelter and beg for some some shelter. But we also think, as the materialists think, we make this mistake. Difficulties means I'm doing it in the wrong way. Therefore, I just have to do it in a different way and it won't be difficult. That has some value, but it's not necessarily the principle of why things happen to devotees. Sometimes it's karma, sometimes it's acting in the wrong way, but the Lord is always there. If we don't take shelter of him, then we'll take shelter of our mind. And then if we take shelter of our mind, then we're subject to the roving mind. And there's no guarantee we'll come up with the solution. Because the nature of the mind is to look for the easy way out. And that's not necessarily the solution. Right, Bala?
Absolutely, Maharaj. I'm tormented by my mind every day. Yeah.
The mind will tell you, "Oh yes, this is what you should do," because he wants to get something from it.
Yes. Always trying to distract Maharaj.
Yeah, distract or fulfill his selfish desires.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Very wonderful. And keep blessing us so that we can follow your path, whatever directions you had given. Thank you so much.
What's your nephew's name?
Ananta?
Ananta?
Yeah, Ananta Bhavsar. Do you remember him? He came and he did little physiotherapy on you.
He did physical therapy on me?
Yeah. Last year. Maybe, yeah.
In Pune?
Yes, Maharaj.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, you will remember when you will see him.
Tell him to come and see me. I'm in the guest
Yeah,
house.
I'll tell him to see you, Maharaj.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
How fortunate is Ananta. Wonderful.
Yes. He is.
Thank you, Mataji. Wonderful questions and wonderful answers. Devotee, do you have any further questions? I have some realizations that devotees have shared, Maharaj. One is from Brashbha Prabhu in his writing. It was mentioned we should not, okay, no, this is, one second. Where is it? From Vikas Prabhuji, he's writing, if this material body we receive from Krishna is Krishna's property, as we are servant of Krishna, so we should treat this body not like our own property, but as Krishna's property and not misuse it.
Right. Not neglect it, not misuse it, not over indulge with it either. Don't try to enjoy it. Don't try to neglect it. But use it for the service of the Lord, and then you'll enjoy automatically. Because as soon as you connect with the Lord, then you rise above all of the so-called enjoyment that comes in this material world, and you get real enjoyment, which is the association of the Lord through your activities in devotion. That satisfies the devotee. Devotee becomes satisfied just by serving the Lord. By service, yeah. Now we had 73 people online. We still have 64. I'm surprised there's no questions. Okay,
And all
Hemangi.
sublime. But Hemangi Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Hare Krishna Maharaj, a beautiful class with lots of stories. So I was just wondering, this mood of being a servant of the Lord, this is easy when we're interacting with devotees. But as soon as we are outside, this mood seems to diminish. So how to keep consistency in this mood, Maharaj?
Try to remember Krishna as much as you can. By remembering Krishna, you're always connected with Krishna. Well, we can do that anywhere. It's not that only in association of devotees we can serve. We have other responsibilities, and we also have to somehow or other not let those other activities drag us into the material energy. So in order to do that, we still have to stay connected with Krishna. By remembering Krishna, we can also chant slokas and verses. We can sing bhajans. We can do so many things that will help us to stay connected with the spiritual energy, with devotional service. And if you make an endeavor, then Krishna will see, oh, this person wants to, stay connected with me, so he also helps. But if we don't make any effort, then we don't get much mercy from Krishna, because he responds to our effort.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
There was one quick question from Revati Priya Mataji. She was saying, does Krishna only make elevated soul his instruments, or sometimes even sadhakas would be Krishna's instrument?
Only those that are fully surrendered, then they become his instruments. If they're not fully surrendered, they can't be an instrument. So a sadhaka can be fully surrendered also. This fully surrendered means that one has to simply accept whatever Krishna arranges without, looking for some different situation. Arjuna wanted to get out of it, but Krishna wouldn't let him, because he had chose Arjuna to be bewildered. Therefore, his bewilderment, he sounded like an ordinary person. And even Krishna criticized him for his evaluations as being just a foolish person. But he wasn't. He was Krishna's intimate associate. So he cannot be bewildered. But the Lord did that, just to use him to speak the Bhagavad Gita. He could have chose someone else, but he chose Arjuna, because Arjuna was fully surrendered. Same with Maharaj Parikshit. Same with Srila Prabhupada. There's many examples. So the difficulties these great souls undergo, for them, it's a great opportunity to assist the Lord in spreading Krishna consciousness. They don't see it as a difficulty. We might, because of our limited understanding.
Thank you, Maharaj. Bala Prabhuji, please, could you like to go ahead?
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, and all glories to Vaishnavas everywhere.
Jai Ho.
Guru Maharaj, I was thinking about what I do, and most of it falls under Shravanam and Kirtanam. I think Japa is also Kirtanam because it's spoken. Then I was thinking about Smaranam. So what kind of Smaranam am I doing? What kind of Smaranam should I be doing? This I Swaradam, I understand. I want to know a little bit more because am I thinking about Krishna? Because I tend to think about Radha way more than I think about Krishna. She's the one that I'm asking stuff for or thinking about. So can you speak about this, Maharaj?
I just gave a seminar on the 9 angas of bhakti, and Smarnam was the third one. I just finished that within the last week. So Shravanam is first, Kirtanam follows, and as Shravanam and Kirtanam become mature, Smarnam starts to develop. And there's different levels of Smarnam. Within the verse, it describes different kind. Let me get the actual explanation, because there's some interesting points here that are quite remote, that we wouldn't be so easily understanding. It's Prahlad Maharaj again, speaking of the 9 angas. This is from the 7th canto, chapter 5. And in the process of this is a very lengthy purport where each of the 9 angas are given discussion. So when it comes to Smarnam, it says they're according to different relationships and mellows, there are 5 kinds of remembering. These are as follows. 1, conducting research into the worship of a particular form of the Lord. That's 1. Concentrating the mind on one subject and withdrawing the mind's activities of thinking, feeling, and willing from all other subjects. 3, concentrating upon a particular form of the Lord. This is called meditation. 4, concentrating one's mind continuously on the form of the Lord. This is called Dhruva Nusmriti, or perfect meditation. And 5, awakening a likening for concentrating a particular form. This is called samadhi, or trance. Mental concentration on particular pastimes of the Lord in particular circumstances, also called smarnam. Therefore, samadhi trance can be possible in 5 different ways in terms of one's relationship. Specifically, the trance of a devotee on the stage of neutrality is called mental concentration. So, just to preface all that, it says, after one regularly performs the process of hearing and chanting, so after regular hearing and chanting, and after the core of one's heart is cleansed, smarnam, remembrance, is recommended. Okay, so this is, you can look it up, 7th canto, chapter 5, verses 23 and 24. This is Prahlad Maharaj speaking the 9 angas of bhakti, which smarnam, they're given in consecutive order also. So smarnam is the 3rd one.
That's awesome, Maharaj. That's a very good explanation, and of course it's in the in the books.
Yeah, meditating in different ways on the forms of the Lord, a particular form of the Lord in general, or withdrawing the mind from all other forms of the Lord and focusing on one particular form, withdrawing the mind from all other activities and absorbing oneself in the form. So just like when we go to the temple in the morning, we see the beautiful form of the Lord. We take a mental picture of that form, and then throughout the day we can again revisit that mental image which we saw in the morning during the worship services. That's why we go to see the deity, so we can keep that concentration on that form throughout the day.
Amazing, Maharaj. Maharaj, you said you took some kind of seminar on this. Is there a YouTube video or something? Okay. I think Krishna Kaviraj Prabhu just answered my question. Thank you, Krishna Kaviraj Prabhu.
Yes.
Somebody answered. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just finished it yesterday.
Okay. So, yeah.
So that was 7 presentations on 9 different angas of bhakti.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm only one YouTube video behind, so that makes a lot of sense. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it's available yet. I guess
Yeah.
it is. I'm not sure if it's
Yes,
available.
Guru Maharaj, all of them are recorded and they're available.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Thank you
That
so
was
much.
fun. That was fun. I was really enjoying that. There was more than 500 or 600 people in my class every day.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes up to 1,000. It was university students. They came for visiting the temple and getting involved in Krishna conscious activities during the Christmas break. Mhm.
Very nice.
I,
Thank you,
I
Maharaj.
sold over 100 books
Good.
Haribol.
without even trying.
Wonderful. Thank you. So devotees, don't hesitate to look into the chat boxes, because whichever verses Maharaj is quoting, several devotees, Indulekha Mataji and Sharanagata Mataji, they're all constantly sharing. The information of YouTube is also available. So please go ahead and look into the chat box as well. Yes, Sridevi Mataji, if you could kindly go ahead with your question, Ma.
Thank you, Nina. I was thinking, Guru Maharaj, that this very same question was asked, which Bala Prabhu asked just now, and you gave them that reference in this very same verse. It's a little above, and you said, according to the attraction of the devotee, one can hear and chant the name of the Lord. You quoted that particular. Should I just read that out or put that in the chat?
That's what I said, and I was reading that from the Bhagavatam.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, you said, let's go. When someone in Pune asked this question, you said, let's go to that section which is in this purport itself. The transcendental holy name of the Lord may be heard and chanted according to the attraction of the devotee.
Yeah.
You gave that explanation, which is in
It's
that
called
same.
Nama Nukirtanam.
Mm.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, put it in the chat.
Okay,
Thank you,
I will.
Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Nina Mataji, there is question on the chat. Like at the beginning, can you read it?
Mataji, you are muted.
Thank you so much. Sorry about that. Yes, one of the latest questions from Sindhu Rao Prabhu is saying he's offering humble obeisances at your lotus feet, Maharaj, and he's saying, I have one question regarding japa. It is very difficult to control the mind and concentrate on the holy names. Any advice, Maharaj?
Yeah, Prabhupada, when he was given that same statement, he said, just neglect the mind and just keep your attention focused on the sound of Krishna's name. That's all. And when you lose that concentration, just go back to the sound of Krishna's name. Practice bringing the mind back each time it wanders away, and just hear. The Prabhupada was very adamant to explain that it's just about hearing. So practice the hearing process. That's it. But our minds are restless due to our attachments to material life. The less we become attached to material life, the easier it is to control the mind, because in the material world, you can't control the mind because the mind is simply led away by the objects of the senses. So practice Krishna consciousness, just like Arjuna asked the same question. Krishna said, practice, but give up all of these other activities that cause the mind to become restless, which is fulfilling our material desires. That's all. Don't try to fulfill material desires. Just try to engage in devotional service, and all your desires will be fulfilled automatically. People don't understand that. Whatever you want, you can get through devotional service. You don't have to try for it separately. You don't know that. We sing that prayer every day. Shiguru charane rate, ese utamagate ye prasade purve sarva as. The lotus feet of the spiritual master, everything is there. There's no need to make separate endeavor for anything. But we don't have that faith, therefore we haven't come to the point of developing that activity. But when you learn that Krishna is everything, he can take care of you. He can take care of your family. He can take care of you. Everything. Just serve Krishna. And he'll give you both the intelligence and the facilities to do whatever you need to live in this world. That's guaranteed. He's doing that to the non-devotees. What to speak of the devotees who are trying to surrender to him. How much he takes care of his devotees. But if he fails to take care of something we want, doesn't mean he's not taking care. It means it's just we don't need it, or we haven't qualified ourselves to receive it at that particular time when we want it. So if you have faith in Krishna, you don't have to go anywhere else for anything. It's all there right in Krishna.
Very true. Thank you so much. It's so true and so applicable. One quick question from Vrishva Prabhu. He is saying, Maharaj, Gurudev, what is the difference between the mind trying to find an easy way out and lazy intelligence? I guess that would mean searching for simpler and smarter way of doing things.
Lazy intelligence is the highest form of intelligence. That's Krishna. Krishna has lazy intelligence. Lazy intelligence means he uses intelligence and everybody else does the work. That's what lazy intelligence is, a person who engages everyone else in the activities that he wants to perform. Prabhupada talks about the big man who owns a company, but he has all his workers working for him. He's out on the golf course playing golf where everybody else is working. Every once in a while, he checks in to see how things are going or gives some advice accordingly. But he pretty doesn't get involved so much in the activities. Lazy intelligence, there's four kinds. There's lazy intelligence, there's active intelligence, there's lazy fool, there's the active fool. The active fool is the monkey. He's a fool and he makes a mess of everything. Lazy fool is better. He's foolish, but because he's lazy, he's not causing much harm. Higher than that is the active fool, active intelligence. He's intelligent and he does things. He knows how to do things. But higher than that is the lazy intelligence, who knows how to do everything, but uses everyone else to carry out what he needs, what he wants done. That's Krishna. Krishna is lazy intelligent.
Very interesting answer, Maharaj. So what Vrishva Prabhu, he was trying to say is that what he meant by lazy intelligence, he further added a note. The moment I want to enjoy something, that is the moment again I turn my back from Krishna.
Yeah, sure. If you want to enjoy, Krishna consciousness is enjoyable. So stay in Krishna consciousness and you can enjoy. And if you're not happy with that, take prasadam. That's always there. Prasadam's enjoyable.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. I'm looking if there are any further questions on the chat. Devotees, you still have time. Maharaj is right here. Unmute yourself, turn on your videos, get his blessings, and ask all your questions that you might have.
You made one error in your statement.
I did?
Yeah.
Sorry. Please correct me.
Yeah, I don't have any blessings.
No, Raj, if you take your blessings away, where would we go?
I don't have any. I gave them all away. I'm broke.
You have so much unlimited blessings for all of us, Maharaj. Thank you so much for your mercy. Thank you so much for your association from the bottom of my heart, Maharaj. We are so blessed to have you every other week.
Well, you're not going to get any blessings, though.
We have to earn it, right, Maharaj?
No, I'm broke.
How sweet.
Your mercy to us, you're showering us with so much nectar itself is a blessing, Guru Maharaj. What more blessings than to be in your divine presence? This itself is a great blessing.
You can
completely
you can escape anytime you want. Okay, is there any more questions? We had a good attendance today. We had up to 74 people were on. Now we have 56 that are still there. Did you cover everything in the chat?
I did. There are several
just comments, right?
Yes, those are comments, and devotees are sharing the verse number. Indulekha Mataji, Sharanagata Mataji.
Okay. All right. If there's no more, then I can move on.
I think Sridevi Mataji has one last question on.
She never has a last question.
She never has a last question.
So true, Maharaj.
So sorry, but I just have to ask this, Guru Maharaj.
Not a last question. Her questions are lasting. Yes, lasting questions.
I'm just feeling a little overwhelmed that I hear so much wonderful delineations of the Lord's pastimes, his devotees' pastimes, your presence, every day in our lives we get to hear. And yet, why we are not able to fully absorb ourselves in devotional service? Why is the mind such a wicked rascal that it keeps straying? I mean, as long as we are here, it's wonderful. The moment the class is over, again, chanchalam hi mana Krishna. So how to control the mind even when we are not in the association of devotees?
Every minute you should be thinking, how can I serve? If you put that thought in your mind, how can I serve? You'll always get some answer, which will keep you connected. As soon as you let your mind go, then it'll come up with its own ideas. Keep thinking, how can I serve? And then when you get the answer, serve. And then after that's done, how can I serve? We were taught that when we were in Brahmachari ashram. We should always be thinking, how can I serve? And if you can't think of anything to do, you can always chant or pick up a book and read.
There is a wonderful realization shared by one of the sadhakas, Sukhava Prabhu, and I'm reading it out to you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I would like to share my realization. Listening to your daily classes, I get all my questions answered without asking physically. I realize how important is Shravanam. Thank you. Shravanam. Yeah, important is Shravanam. Thank you for explaining about the next step of Smaranam. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Krishna Smaranam, followed by Archanam, and then, followed by Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, and it's Padasevanam is next. And then after Padam Sevanam, it's Archanam. After Archanam, it's Vandanam. After Vandanam, it's Dasyam. After Dasyam, Sakyam. And after that, it ends with Atmanivedanam. Hearing is the most important of the 9 process, but it's also required that one should chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra regularly, along with any of the other 8 processes that you engage in. But hearing is the foundation by which we understand everything. So it's all based on hearing. Maharaj Parikshit heard from Sukadev Goswami the entire Bhagavatam, and he became fully self-realized within 7 days. So this hearing process is fundamental for the development of all activities in devotional service. And hearing in itself is bhakti also. You're all hearing, that means you're engaging in the process of, that means that's one of the angas of bhakti, to hear. But here, try to understand what you're hearing and see how it applies to you and see how you can use it to develop your, devotional service. Not hearing one in one ear and out the other. There's 3 kinds of hearing. In one ear, out the other. In one ear, and it stays there. And the other one is in one ear and out the mouth. That's the success. Shravanam leads to Kirtanam, and Kirtanam together with Shravanam leads to Smaranam. So hear as much as you can. Take an interest in the philosophy by reading Bhagavatam and other books. You have books on the life of Srila Prabhupada. We can learn so much about Srila Prabhupada. Not only his activities, but the personality of Prabhupada is the most interesting topic. What he did, how he did it. He talks also about his life growing up when he was a young boy. Talks about politics. He talks about sociology. Talks about his life and his family life. Talks about business life when he was a businessman. Talks about, Prabhupada covered everything. He didn't leave anything out. If you take an interest in Prabhupada, you're Krishna conscious. To be Prabhupada conscious is Krishna consciousness.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
We're working on a project right now to put many of the words of Prabhupada's disciple into one particular unit and make that unit available where you can hear about Prabhupada from a prominent disciple of Prabhupada. And then you get directly the experience that he had, both the knowledge and the experience of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada's life is so amazing. It's so interesting.
Thank you, Maharaj. We have
Attached to hearing about Prabhupada, you're fixed. Life becomes really fun then. Just listening to Prabhupada or hearing about Prabhupada, either one.
We had a question from Dheeraj Prabhu. Would you like to go ahead? please.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Prabhupada, all glory to you, Gurudev. Maharaj, in the seminar, you were asking that whenever Srila Prabhupada used to meet devotees, new devotees, he used to ask that what service he is doing or what service are you doing,
Yeah.
rather than asking how many rounds are you chanting. So right now, I am not doing any service. Like I used to do many service in the temple, but from past 7 months, 8 months, I'm not doing any service. But I'm chanting my rounds, waking up early, 2:33, and hearing and reading books. So after hearing you, I was feeling so anxiety. Like I was thinking like I'm doing nothing for Srila Prabhupada or for you. So what should I do right now? Like
I'm coming to Calcutta soon. You can meet me there.
Yeah.
I'll give you some service.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, I know.
Yeah.
Coming.
Yeah, so come there. I'll give you some service.
When are you going to Calcutta, Maharaj?
I'll be there on the 7th and 8th of this month.
Guru
And
Maharaj, where will you stay in Kolkata? Will you stay in ISKCON Kolkata guest house, or where you are going to stay?
I don't know. They'll tell me when I get there.
Oh.
He's staying in Newtown. He's staying in Newtown Temple. There's a flat there. So previously Maharaj stayed there. So he's staying there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not worried because the temple president is a good friend, so I don't have to worry. So,
Yeah, I spoke with Acharya Ratna Prabhu.
yeah, so come and I'll give you some service.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Okay, maybe we can stop. We don't seem to have any more questions, so we can end here.
Yes, devotees, let's go ahead and offer our obeisances at Guru Maharaj's feet.
Vanchakalpatrubhescha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah anantakoti vaishnavvrit ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai His Holiness
Candramauli Swami Maharaj
Maharaj
ki jai.
Maharaj ki jai.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Nityananda. Maharaj, thank you so much.
Nityananda.